This is a tiered gatefold card that I did a week ago, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 10 days, 11 days, something like that. And so I've seen another one, and I was really thinking of doing one with extra things. So instead of just having two, having a few more. And so then I was like, oh, but we don't need to use squares, do we? Come on now, we don't use rectangles. We're not boring around here. And so I decided to have a go with hearts. Now this is going to be difficult to show you with it not stood up, but anyway. Basically, it looks like that when it stood up. So that's sort of what it looks like. So when it stands up like, so for the top view for you, that's what it looks like from the top. Okay, and then from the front, as I said, it's quite difficult to show you, but the front view is something along those lines. It looks better when you can actually see it. But that's what we're going to have a go at. So it's a bit extra. But you could use any shape. So if you haven't got dies or you don't have heart dies, you could use whatever shape you want. You could even just go for rectangles if you wanted to, or you could use circles if you wanted to, or you could use, if you're doing a man's card, you might want to use like cogs. You literally could use whatever you want, because the way that they're all stuck together is literally just one, you can probably see it here, just one long continuous strip. And so that means that you've really got versatility with this. You can do whatever you want. So I thought I'd do hearts again, because I was going to do a different, I was going to do like lemons and limes and stuff like that and make it a bit funky. But I just thought if I do that, I know I'm going to get somebody saying, how do you do it with hearts? So I thought, right, we're just going to do it with hearts. And then you can just, yeah, do what you want afterwards. So let's put that to one side. So with this one, just so you know, the papers, I don't know if you can still get them. I just used a rose gold Miri, which I think was a Dovecraft one, but you can use anything. I recently went to the Creative Craft Show in Birmingham, UK, and they had some hunky-dory rose gold, so I could have used that. And then this is the pattern paper that I used. And this, I got this from the range a few months ago now, but I think they've still got it in there. It's Art Studio. You might be able to order it online. If I can find a link, I'll put it in the description below later on. But yeah, I like these papers. I don't use them enough. So I thought I'd have a go. And this die here, this Sending Love die, is a tonic one. And again, I got that at the Creative Craft Show. And so I thought I'd use it. And I just put a border punch at the bottom. And then you've got space on the back to write. Got little bits of card stuck. And obviously you can write your message on there. So yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the easy bit. Now I've done a lot of pre-prepping, so I'm not faffing around like I've been doing in the last week. So you need, for the base, you need a 5x7 base, okay, and you're also going to need two mats. That are these two mats, and these mats are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then you need a pattern piece, which is 4.5 by 6.5. And a plain white piece, which is 4.5 by 6.5. I didn't have, because I'm using the Trimcraft first edition Making Memories pad, which is this one, but I've only got it in a 6x6, and obviously I'm using a 5x7 base. I looked all through my stash. Could I find any paper in my stash that was in these colours? No, I couldn't. I could find pinks and lilacs, but I couldn't find one with the blue. If I could find one with blue, it wasn't the right blue. So then I was like, right, what am I going to do? Because this isn't big enough. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my own backing paper and just cut some strips up and stuck them onto a piece of copy of paper and then just stuck them on diagonally. I've already stuck it onto the mat. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick the pattern down, but we're not going to stick the back panel on the back just yet. Okay, so we're just going to stick the front down. Okay, so that's going to be the front bit. I've cut out, and again, this was these tonic dies that I bought at the Creative Craft Show. You also need two base pieces, strips, and these are little arms that all the hearts slot onto. And this is, well, I made mine about 3/4 by 9 inches. If you want to go higher than 3/4, you can go a bit, you know, a bit more, or if you want to go a little bit less, you can. But if you go less, just bear in mind this is the only thing that's holding your hearts into place. So you don't want to go too, yeah, you don't want to go too flimsy. I'm already wondering if this is going to be stable enough, to be honest with you. The card that I used here, I would say was about 300, maybe a bit more, and this isn't. This is not a 300. This is like a 220, maybe. It's not very much. So it really depends what you want to do, depending on what base, what GSM your pattern is and your mat is. So my actual base is a 240. The mat is about a 200, 210, and then my top, well, this is 200, but I've also stuck it onto copier paper, which obviously is very thin, and you've got the double-sided tape as well, so that's made it a bit more, but it would have been a 200. And then the back section, which is going to stick on the back there, you've got another 200, 210, and then you've got another 240. So you've got quite a lot. So when that goes together, that's very stable. You know, it's quite weighty and it's quite thick. Do you know what I mean? You've got quite a good wodge there. So yeah, just bear that in mind. So if you have got something, I would say probably your base needs to be about 240, but just don't go too heavy on your mats and layers. Right, so where were we? So with your strips, so along the 9-inch edge, you're literally going to score every inch. You're going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you are going to do the same on this strip. Right, so then this strip, you just want a concertina. If you start with a mountain fold, and then just mountain valley your way along the strip, basically. So there we go, there's 2 zigzaggy pieces. So then we need to bring in our base card. So this is the piece that goes on the back. Don't need that just yet. So what we're going to do is now, what I would do is get your smallest heart. So obviously matte and layered hearts. Get your smallest heart and kind of lay it on here like this. Obviously making sure it's straight. And then what I would do is just kind of make a little mark on the side. You can do it on the back if you want, because you are going to see it. Actually, let me turn this over. Let me turn this over so I'm doing it on the back, because this bit's going to get covered up. And then making sure that's straight. This is the biggest problem I've had, is making sure my hearts are actually straight and not wonky. I think that's way about straight. That's where it's going to come to. It's going to come to there, and it's going to come to about here-ish. Okay, so the reason why you want to do that is just because then, you know, your little ziggy zaggy bits are not going to be too high for your heart, your lowest heart. You can also get one of your biggest hearts on and have a quick look, so that if I make sure that goes there, then that should be okay. You will see a bit of it, but that's why I've done it red. You're going to need 2 large hearts, 2 medium, 2 next size down, and 2 small. So in total you've got 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 8 hearts in total. And I've actually staggered I've gone for 2 patterns, and I just cut a complete set out of one pattern and a complete set out of the other pattern, and then I'm into, you know, interlocking them, as it were. On my original I didn't do that. So on my original, both my small and my second largest heart were the same pattern, and then my 2 large and my 2 second smallest were the same pattern, but I sort of like the idea of having them different colours. So yeah, 8 hearts in total, or whatever you're using, whatever shapes you're using. Okay, so what we're going to do then, so I've just checked my largest heart, which is there. So that pencil mark that I've drawn is a bit below, so you'd really want it there. So if I make sure that when this goes, it sticks on, that's the bottom, that's the lowest my strip can go, then hopefully it'll work. Right, so then we're going to take one of these. Now, it just depends on, no, we're going to go that way around. So I'm going to go this way around. So we're just going to glue up the inside piece here. So you can see it's sort of facing inwards. Oh, just dropping my glue. Pop my glue up there. There we go. And then let's just turn this around. And you want to make sure that it goes right into that corner. My pencil line shows me where the bottom of my thingy bob needs to be. So the bottom of my strip, that's the word I'm looking for, strip needs to be. So let's just lay this on here. Yeah, that's fine. So you're going to see a little bit at the top there, but it's fine because I've used like for like card. Okay, so that's the front of my card. So that's my little front strip. Just like a weird springy piece hanging off the side there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue on here, like this. And then I'm going to flip this over again. And again, just put that into there like that. Line it up with that pencil mark, because then you know it's even. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this back section on. So now we've stuck these two little bits on, we can go ahead and stick our back panel on. Now if you wanted to, you could have made these white, but I just thought because I have a red mat, that's what I'm going to do, and then it's least obtrusive. Right, so sticking your heart down, what you want to do is, I start from the, obviously from the back and work forwards. So this piece here doesn't have anything on it. It's all of, so you miss one, stick one, miss one, stick one, miss one, stick one, miss one, and the front one you stick one. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this strip in, so it's sort of concertinaed in. I'm going to take my heart and I'm going to stick it on here, making sure the bottom tip doesn't pop out the bottom of the card, making sure it's straight and making sure the side here doesn't pop off the side. And so I actually put glue over the whole of that tab, but actually it's not, you can't really see, I don't know if you can see that, I'll hold it up a little bit higher, oh, this way. You can't really see the glue on it because I've rubbed it all off. So that's going there. Now I'm going to do the other side, so I'm going to do like left right as I go along, so I find that a little bit easier. Right, so then on this side I'm going to do the same thing again, so I'm going to fold that in, and then so miss one and stick one. That's the first two hearts on. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I've done there. If I turn them over, they're not completely stuck yet. Look, just do that like that. Okay, and then what we want to do is go back to the left hand side again, and we're going to go with this card here, with this heart here. So we miss one and then we glue on the next square. So that's like that. And then we get that, so again we fold it in like that. So it's just folded in. Take the heart, stick it on, make sure the bottom doesn't pop out the bottom, make sure the side doesn't pop out the side, and make sure the whole thing's straight. So that's that like that. Oh, hello. Right, and then we're going to do this side. So again, I'm going to fold that in. You just need to make sure whenever you stick your heart down, you don't go past where the crease line is, otherwise you won't be able to concertina the next one in. And then we're going to put this on, and again just bring it down. See, with a bit of yoo-hoo, you've got time to kind of move it around, make sure it's straight, make sure it's not poking on the bottom, make sure it's right on the left hand side. And then we need to do the same again on this side again. So we miss one and then we stick one, so I'm going to concertina that down. And then on this bit here, I'm just going to put some glue, and then take my next heart, and again just line it up, get it nice and straight. Is it straight at the bottom? Is it straight at the side? Yep. And then just hold it till it dries. Then we're going to do the same on this side. So we're going to bend that in, go for the next one. So you always miss one and then stick one, miss one, stick one, all the way down. And it's always on this inside that you're missing and sticking. You're not sticking on the outside of your strip, you're sticking on the inside of your strip. Okay, so that's that one. And then last but not least, we miss one, and then on this very end one here, we're going to stick our last heart onto there. So let's do that. Bend that in, ooh, bend that back like that. Take my last heart and stick him on. Now he's the tiniest. Now the joy with him being the last one is if you wanted to, and I think I will, you can just trim off that little corner. So I've got a little bit of that edge poking up above the heart. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just trim that off when it's dry. Just let it dry. So if you can see that there, you can see that I've got a little corner. So I'm just going to take that off in a minute. Okay. And then we're going to, last but not least, the heart on this side. Same again. Super easy this is, actually. It looks really complicated, but it's actually not that complicated at all. That's stuck down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with my scissors, and this piece here where my heart is just, I've got a little bit of that strut coming out. Just going to trim that away. Same on this side here. There we go, like that. There we go. And then if I open it up, you've got all your hearts. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to stand it up and just make sure it stands up okay. Oh, now see with this one, yeah, this one's okay. It's a little bit, you might find that if these aren't quite sturdy enough and this is quite heavy, it might want to fall back. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing your, you know, and you can if you want to, because I've only done mats for my hearts. I haven't done base and matte and pattern. So if you wanted to, you could always do that, which would make it a bit more weighty. So that's that, the bulk of it done. I really like this card actually. I think I might be making some more. I definitely see with the man's card this could go really well. And you didn't necessarily have to have all the same type of shape. So you don't have to just have all hearts. If you wanted to, you might be able to get away with doing, you know, like a large, just little collection of different things, like flowers, I don't know, all sorts of things you could do. Right, so now I'm going to stick my get well soon on there, I think. Let's just see. I wanted it to be on that bottom one. The top one is going to pop above. It's going to pop out. So I think I'm going to have to put it where that blue one is. Yeah. So I'm just going to flip these back. So this is going to go on there like that. So I'm just going to glue. Oh, I've already put some tape on the back. Look at me. All organised today. Ooh, flip it over. And then, I mean, this one's turned out quite thick just because of the layers that I've used. But it is a bit wodgy and it is a bit weighty. But obviously, depending on how thick card you use, depends on how thick your finished card will be. There we go. Get well soon. And then, these go in. I sort of have been layering them up. So with this all closed, I'll show you how thick it ends up being. Now, it's quite thick. You see it's quite thick. So it is quite thick, but as long as you make sure that none of your shapes come outside of your bottom or side when you're sticking them down, then it will fit in an envelope for a 5x7 card. So that's what I like about it. And if you wanted to, you could downsize it, because I almost made a 6x6 because I was using hearts. I almost made it 6x6. The other thing I meant to do and I forgot was round my corners. So on this one I rounded all my corners, which I quite like. I like the rounded corners because of the hearts. But anyway, I forgot to do it on this one, so never mind. There we go. Hey ho. Yeah, if you don't have any dies, you can try with squares, or if you wanted to, you know what might look nice actually? If you haven't got any dies and you want to try with squares, maybe doing the squares but doing them on their angle so they're like diamonds. That might work quite nice. Just make sure obviously that the diamond from point to point isn't wider than 5 inches. Yeah, butterflies, absolutely. You could use butterflies if you've got like different sizes. I mean, literally, you could do what you want. But yeah, so there you go. So that's the card. So it's as I say, it's quite a nice little card, a bit different. I just thought it was quite cool. I do have an idea now. I do have an idea, but yeah. So this is my Do Craft folder, because as some of you might know, I used to demo for Do Crafts and also for Trim Crafts, so I have them separated out. Right, so my idea was these, because these are little like scenery. So what I was thinking was, if we make, instead of making a strip, if we, oh, let me just turn that over. Let me turn this over here. So instead of having a strip, if I make it so it's taller, but not a lot taller, maybe, well, no, actually could go a bit taller actually, and then have like scenery. So we have like one there, it's almost wide enough, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, the next one, like that. I think that could work well. So let's cut out a 4.5 by 6.5 in that. That's that. Then I'm going to need a, I think we're going to go for a white base because it's easier. A white base that is 5 by 7. And then I need to get a mat out, and I think I'm going to go hot pink for the mat. This is a Hobbycraft pack. I love these Hobbycraft packs, and these are quite thin as well. So this is only 180 GSM. This is going to be perfect for this. So this needs to be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I need 2 of them. That's my first panel. Let me move this heart one out of the way. That's my first panel. Okay, so that's that one. And then the next one, and then the front one, 5 inches wide, which it is, by my tree, 2.5. 5 inches by 2.5. That is 5 inches, yeah. So that's the front one. Okay, let's get die cutting. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to score these first before I die cut. Let me just quickly score my side pieces. This one was, height was 4.5, so that's definitely the width. So yeah, so the width, so I need to score every inch. Okay, so this one is my right hand side, so it needs to go starting from the where it goes around the back of the card. It needs to be a mountain, then a valley. There we go. Then a mountain, and then a valley. Hopefully that will work. So that goes around the back, and that's like that. So then you've got the church goes there, and then the little houses go there. Perfect. Right, so that's that one. Then this one is on the left hand side. Mountain, valley, mountain, ooh, valley, like that, and that goes that way. Right, so that's those ones done. So I'm going to stick those on now. Oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't. Let me hold on, because I don't want to move all my dies quite yet, because they're all nicely placed. Okay, now I'm going to stick these onto this and then put it onto here, because if I need to trim anything, I want to trim it while it's not attached to a card. This could go horribly wrong, but hopefully not. This bit here is what's going to tuck around the back of the card and have glue on it. And then I'm going to put the dark pink will go on here, and this mid pink will go on here. So let's stick this one onto here. Yeah, see, so I kind of need to start about there really, I think. So I'm going to have to trim that amount off the bottom. So this is why I thought I'd better look first. So let's just take that down to there. So actually the height of this is going to be less than 4.5, 3 3/4 now. Okay, so that's going to go there, 3 3/4, that's good. And then this one, I'm going to need to come down a step. So that's there. Then this needs to go on there like that. And it needs to be like here. So on this front section here, I'm going to need to trim up here like this. And I think we will come straight across that hinge as well, otherwise that's going to get in the way. So like that, and then straight down here. Like that. Okay, so that's going to go around the back. That's going to go on there like that, and then that's going to fold forward like that, and then this will go on there. Like that. Okay. Probably need to cut a tiny bit more off that one. Right, let's just go in a straight line. Right. Okay, so that's what my side piece looks like. So I'm happy now. I'm actually going to stick this straight on this one. Okay, got a few stringy bits. There we go. Okay, now I noticed that there was a little bit poking out. When I do this here, there's a little bit of white there. I am just going to, actually I'm going to trim a little bit off. I'm going to trim a little bit off the side, because I'm worried that when I put this, the other one on this side, this might butt up against it. So I'm just going to, take a tiny bit, and I do mean a slither off that side. Right, so that's going to go on there like that. Yes, perfect. Good, I've got a nice little gap there. That looks good to me. What I've done with my glue, there it is. And then we fold this one down here, and that mid pink one is going to go on there, and there's no white showing. It doesn't look too long, so we're good to go. Right, so that's that side done. So is where this is sticking. So this is sticking onto there, and actually that's fine. Let me check the front. The front needs just sizing down a little bit, quite a lot actually. So the front one is there, so literally we are going to need to come just below there. Okay, so let me just open this up, and I'm gonna draw with a ruler, because I just have a feeling after 6 hours sleep my lines are not going to be the straightest. So we'll put this on. Hang on, I'm going to do it all cack-handed if I do it that way around. Let me do this around. I don't want to bend me church. Ooh. There we go. Right, that's better. So let's make it slightly lower than we need it. Oh, don't want to go too far. Just across the 2. Let me do across 3. Just across the 2. So let's get rid of that pencil mark there. And then let's just cut straight down here. Okay, so let's stick this one down then. Oh, am I out the way, Mr. Flower? So that goes there. It's going to go here. So let's get the glue again. That comes down. Oops, no, that comes down there. And then we need the front one, which is this one here. There we go. And then we want to put our little swings at the front. So pick up my tree, my very delicate tree. Ooh. My little ladies. There we go, like that. Up a tiny bit. There. Like that. Okay, and then I just need to trim that little white edge off here. Really loving that. And then when it opens up, let me just stand it up and oh yes. Oh, you have to wait till you see the photo of that. That looks amazing. When it stood up, it looks properly cool. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's up. So you have got big blank spaces here, and actually I think what I would probably do, don't know why that's twisting, is for Christmas I would put little snowy mounds and stuff. I might put some little, I don't know, sparkly things in, glossy accents, I don't know, I'll think about something. Or maybe even if I've got a grass stamp, just with like a pink, like a same colour, just a slight tonal, maybe that might work. Or even for the sentiment, I might put the sentiment there. I could put a little sentiment here and a little sentiment there, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just thinking stamping on it, yeah. But that, I'm impressed with that. That looks rather nice. I hope you enjoyed today. But thank you all for joining me. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, you know, the usual YouTuber thing. Don't forget to head over to Coca Rosa Studios and have a look at their website, have a look at their dies. You get 25% off if you use the code. I'll put it in the description. Don't forget to go over to Antonio Makes if you haven't already. And yeah, have fun. A Louis 10 for 10% off your orders on Antonio Makes. Okay, I'm going to go. So thank you all for joining me.